Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to this week's Traders Club. My name is Gerald. Okay, SDI has bounced off from support. So as we discussed last week, remember we were saying there are several stocks that have moved up on the uptrend, but do not chase that because they are too far from support. So wait for a pullback. So the pullback has happened pretty sharply as well, but it's still a pullback. More importantly, how are the support holding? Yeah, so as far as STI is concerned, as you can see over here, the support by the 20 and 50 MA has been holding on pretty well. Now there was a confluence of support, yeah, so as discussed last week. So the confluence of support was basically this gap here, yeah. So anytime there's a gap up, when it comes back to test it, right? So you can see there was a support tested in confluence with the 20 and 50 MA. So not only there was a gap support, there was also a 20 and 50 MA support. Yeah, so that's where the sharp decline didn't continue, and now the market is trying to rebound from it. Right. So this is is a good sign. Yeah. So it's still very bullish as far as STI is concerned. Now, in fact, many Singapore stocks are doing the same. Yeah. So they are basically pulled back. But the support, whether it holds or not, so this is where we need some indicator signals to help us. Yeah, so I'll be using the MACD, yeah, to highlight some of those stocks that basically has bounced off from support, and of course the MACD shows some buying signal. Okay, so we'll just go through them one by one. Okay, first one is AEM. All right, so this is AEM. Yeah, so it's uptrend at support. So we are definitely at 20 and 50 MA testing a support now. So we are back to the 4 red and 1 green. So you can see today, right? This is today, and there's a green, right? And this green is, before that it was at least 4 red. So that is the signal we are looking at. Yeah, so how do you take this trade? If you want to, is you got to wait for confirmation. Yeah, so wait for the price to go higher. So the high is $3.18. So we got to wait for it to be at least $3.19, right, before we pull the trigger. Yeah, so AEM is a stock that is on the uptrend, and there's a support now, and the MACD trading signal has appeared. So we just need the price to go one bit higher to 319, and that's where the trade will be. Now the challenging thing for this is because it has gone up so sharply. You see the 20 and 50 MA is pretty far apart. So as this whole chunk is a support zone, yeah, so I do not want to just take any cut losses anywhere along the way. So usually this is where the stop loss will be set below the 50 MA, yeah, this blue sloping line. Yeah, but in so doing, because they are so far apart, your risk could be pretty wide. Yeah, so you can see it's about 20%. Yeah, so this is where if your risk appetite is not that high, AEM may not be a good trade. Okay, it has valid signal, but it may not be a good trade because of the high risk involved. Okay, but if you still want to take this trade based on other observations or fundamentals, then probably you will want to trade smaller. So at least instead of losing, say, $1,000 based on the 20% risk, you are losing only $500, still based on 20% risk. Okay, so that's something to each its own. Okay, but ultimately it's a 20%, a fairly significant stop loss. Okay, so think about that. But the signal is there, the trend is there, support is there. Okay, so that's AEM. Okay, the next one, I'll go by alphabetical order. Yeah, so all these stocks that I'm highlighting now are basically sharing the same characteristics. They are on an uptrend, but more importantly, the price have pulled back to support, and MACD has shown the green after a series of red. Okay, so this is APAC REIT. Okay, so same thing, you need to wait for the fourth step, which is the entry price. Okay, so the high is already at 127, so you are basically looking at 128 as your confirmation. So which means if tomorrow it doesn't come to 128, right, the market didn't confirm, it's not confirming this trade, so we will not take it. Okay, so we'll only take this trade if the price is able to trade to 128. So this is what we call market's confirmation. Yeah, so we'll be able to have a higher chance of the probability of success because the market is buying as well. Okay, cut loss, we put it below the 50 MA, right? So if this is a 50 MA, we can set our stop loss at around 115. Now, so between 128 and 115, what is your risk? Yeah, it's only about 9%. So in fact, it's about 9 or 10%. So it's less than 10% in fact. So it's much better than in terms of the percentage risk, yeah, compared to just now AEM. I think this AIMS has a lower risk. Yeah, so that's how you can assess and decide. Okay, so that's AIMS. Okay, so previously there was a gap right over here, but the gap has already been closed by this long candle up. Yeah, so there's no more gap resistance, so it's fine. Okay, next in line, ARA Logos Logistic Trust. Okay, so same thing. Uptrend, 20 is above 50 MA. Yeah, so the price is now at the support, and today it shows this green. Okay, so as far as the signal wise is concerned, trend, support. Yeah, can you see the price came to the support and bounce off? Yeah, it's there. Okay, so we need to set the entry price. So the high is 56.5. Your entry will be 57. Okay, this being a penny counter, your percentage risk is going to be high. Yeah, so your stop loss you set anywhere beneath this low, right? And it's also below the 50 MA. So this is where your risk is definitely more than 10%. Yeah, it's just over 10%. So still quite fine as far as the penny counter is concerned. Yeah, so in terms of recognizing this trading setup, yeah, so it's clear 20 above 50 MA, right? Price have came down and bounced off from the support, and this day is green. So what we want is a green after a series of at least 4 consecutive weeks. Okay, so this is ARA Logistic. Okay, but I need to highlight a gap over here that was in March. Yeah, so there's this small gap, but still a gap. Okay, which was not able to close. So which means if you to take the trade 57 cents, you go up a few cents, you're right at resistance already. Okay, so that's something that we want to take note of. Okay, so although the setup is good, the risk is acceptable, right, reasonable, but I think we are too near to a resistance. Okay, so anyone considering taking this, be mindful of that. Okay, next. Okay, the next few that I'm going to share with you, the risk is more than 10%. Yeah. Later down the list, there are some that are lesser than that, but I just want to highlight those that have this trading signal. Risk appetite, that is up to you, right? Because I know some of you don't mind taking risk of 15%, so I don't want to restrict it. Okay, now, Capital Mall Trust. Okay, so the price have gone up, the price have pulled back, and it has tested support, right? 20 and 50 MA support level has been holding up, and today it shows a green. Okay, so this is where you got to set the entry price, because the high is 216, so you need to see at least 217. Your stop loss you set below the 50 MA. Okay, so that may result in the risk to be pretty high. Yeah, because of the way the candle is closed, right? The way the price is closed with the green MACD showing. Yeah, so sometimes that is the that may result in high stop loss like that, 15%. So again, I myself, I rather look at something below 10%, but I know a lot of you guys who don't mind taking trades that is 15 or even 20% cut loss. All right, okay, but yeah, so I just want to highlight that this has a potential. Just wait for the entry price of 217. Okay, that's a Capital Mall Trust. Okay, the next one is down the list, Taxi, right? ComfortDelGro. Okay, so ComfortDelGro, same thing. It went up, right? Went up, pull back, test the support, refused to go lower, right? Unlike the other time where it came down and broke the 20 and 50 MA support. Okay, not as ideal. What we want to see is something like that. Okay, but because the price have gone up a bit high, yeah, so let's measure it. Okay, the high is 169, your entry will be 170, your cut loss will be below the 50 MA, say 145. All right, so resulting in your stop loss being a bit wide, yeah, again about 15%. Yeah, so if you want to take this trade, be mindful of this risk as well. Yeah, yes, it's true. It's due to this price going higher. Had the price stayed not so far out, right, and it appears green, then it turns green, right, and the price is around here, at least your risk is not too high. Okay, so sometimes these things happen. Yeah, so you got to manage the risk. You still need to follow the patterns. Yeah, 4 red, 1 green. Okay, so that is Comfort Delgro. Okay, Far East H Trust. Right. Okay, likewise, as you can see, it went up and it pulls back down. Okay, so it's gone up, pull back down, find support. The green appears today. Yeah, so entry price. So the high is 55 cents. So you're looking at 55.5 cents. Cut loss, I can set it below the 50 MA. So 47.5 cents could be a stop loss. So my risk is about 14%. Yes, this is still fine considering this is a penny counter. Yeah, so like I said, penny counter, yeah, your percentage risk could be more than 10%. That is fine. Okay, so this is Far East H Trust. Okay, the trend turning back up. More importantly, it has formed a higher low bouncing off on the support. Okay, so that is Far East H Trust. Now down to the next electronic stock, right? So this is the one that has formed the signal again. Okay, so you could be looking at here, entry price, right? You could set it as 111, right? 111, or and then set the stop loss beneath, right? You can set it at $1. So your risk is about 10%. Okay, 9 to 10%. Okay, so that's for high P. All right, so entry price 111, cut loss you can set at $1 or below. Okay, so today there's a signal already. Okay, next will be Kepler data center bit. All right, so this similarly, okay, this is slightly different in a sense that you can see the signal was already formed last week. Yeah. Okay, so the signal was on this day, and then it was already confirmed. So in fact, okay, if I zoom in, yeah. So this is what I meant by, see, when the green is formed. Yeah, when the green is formed, the price hasn't moved up too much. So this your risk and your cut loss will be pretty small. Yeah, because it hasn't moved up. So your entry price, you could set it just at 246. Okay, why? Because the high is 245, so cut loss will be 246. Sorry, the entry price will be 246. Your cut loss you can set below the 50 MA. So for this trade, you notice the stop loss is very small, less than 5%. All right. Okay, but for this, some of you may be in already. Yeah, some of you may be in already. Okay, so for those who are not in yet, right? That's where some of you may say, "Oh, it's now come back to 246 again. Can I take the trade?" Yeah, so the answer is yes. You could probably take the trade. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now for this instance, you may think that it hit a stop loss. No, because the market opens below, so the trade is not in yet. In fact, it went down and it starts to go up, then hit the entry price before it comes down again. Right. So for those who want to take 246, right, there's still a chance to do so. You can still set your cut loss at 237, or since now you know there's a low here, you can set it as 236. Your risk is still very small, right? Less than 5% in fact. Okay, so this is for data center. Yeah, this is Kepler data center. Okay, the next one is Mapletree. Okay, so Mapletree, there are two. One is the industrial and the other is the logistic. Okay, for the industrial, the risk is more than 10%. Yeah, so if you take a look, okay, so the high is 280, so you're looking at entry of 281. Cut loss we can set below the 50 MA. All right, so you can set at 250. Okay, nevertheless, if you have to drag it down for the stop loss, yeah, you're over 10%. Yeah, over 10% cut loss. Okay, so be mindful of that. Okay, but it does have everything. It has the signal, it has the support, right? It has the 481 grid. Okay, Mapletree Logistic. Now that one, the risk will be lower, right? So you can see on the day that it forms a green, which is today, the price hasn't gone up too far away from the 20 MA or 50 MA support yet. Yeah, so as a result, yeah, some of you have gone in previously. Yeah, so there's another chance for those who miss it. Okay, so the high is 194, so you're probably entering at 195 or above. Cut loss, we can set it below the 50 MA, say 176. Okay, so your risk is 9 less than 9% cut loss. Right, so you can consider this as one of the lower risk trade, yeah, compared to, I mean, lower risk relative to the other stocks that we see recently, yeah, because nowadays, because of volatility, your price will move wider, your stop loss will be wider as well. Okay, SPH REIT. Okay, so this SPH REIT, the green is here, so you can see the price has bounced up slightly further compared to Mapletree Logistics. Okay, but nevertheless, the high is 90 cents, so you're entering at 90.5 cents. Cut loss you can set below the 50 MA. All right, so as a result, your risk is more than 10%, about 12-13%. Okay, be mindful of that as well. All right. Okay, next would be Suntec REIT. Okay, same thing. It has come down to test the support. Today it shows the MACD green. Okay, so entry price, the high is 156, so we're looking at 157 as your confirmation price. Cut loss, we set it below the 50 MA, let's say 135. All right, so that's where you have your cut loss of about 13%, 14%. All right, so if you are, again, if you do not like these wide ranges, right, the higher risk, right, so skip this. Look at those that are of lesser risk, like I shared earlier, High P, Mapletree Logistics, and some more, I think, like Wilmar. Okay, Wilmar also has a relatively lower risk. Okay, so same thing, everything is in, I mean, uptrend, support, and signal. So the high is at 394, so you're looking at 395 as an entry confirmation. Stop loss, you set it below the 50 MA, you can set it at 354. Okay, so your risk will be around 9%, less than 10%. It could be 10, but there about. All right, so it's not like you're 13-15%. Okay, so this is Wilmar. Okay, another one that the risk is not as high would be Venture. Okay, so this is Venture. Previously there was signal, now it's forming signal again. Yeah, the price came down for more than a week, tested the 20 and 50 MA support. Today it bounced off with a MD 4813. Okay, so entry price, say the high is 1559, you could be looking at 1560 plus. Yeah, can give you some buffer. It doesn't have to be exactly 1 cent above. Stop loss you can set below the 50 MA. All right, so your cut loss, your risk percentage risk is less than 5%. Yeah, less than 5%. You can even afford to set your stop loss a bit wider, try to account for the other lows. You're still about only 5-6% cut loss. Okay, so relatively low risk. All right, so these are the few stocks that has all the same characteristics. Uptrend, 20 MA over 50 MA. The price have tested the support. All right, it's at the support 20 and 50 MA and it's starting to bounce off. It shows a 481 green, at the MACD histogram signal. Yeah, so that's how you'll be able to look out for trading opportunity. Now, next what I want to do is let me highlight some of those stocks that do not have the MACD signal. All right, which means you're going to wait. That means the price is uptrend stock. The price have come down to the support, but the price haven't rebound strong enough to show a green yet. Yeah, so all this you could monitor it as it goes along. All right, I'm not talking about stocks like this, right? Because like DBS, for example, the banks basically they pulled back, but they have not really come down enough to the support yet, right? So usually we prefer that it comes down at least touch to 20 MA. Yeah, so the banks are not in the picture yet for today, right, as of now. Okay, but some of them that are like China Aviation. Okay, see China Aviation, yes, come down, it's now at the support. Okay, so what's not prompting the buy yet is because there's no green. Okay, you have a lot of red bars in the MACD, but there's no green bar yet. So which means you continue to wait. So it could be tomorrow, it could be a few days later, it could even be next week. But at least you know what to look out for. Yeah, wait for the green. Okay, so that's China Aviation. So if the green appears, then of course you start to set the entry price. Yeah, set your stop loss. Okay. Okay, the next one, First Resources. Okay, the price went up, hang there for about 2 weeks, and if you pull back very sharply. Okay, but again, finding support at the 20 and 50 MA. Yeah, so these were the places where we talked about, I think, last week. So some stocks came down here and start bouncing off already. Yeah, like what we see in Mapletree Logistics, Mapletree Industrial. Okay, but some stocks like First Resources, like now, right, China Aviation, they are at the support, but it hasn't shown the green yet. The market has not really buy enough yet. So we got to wait. So you know what to look for going forward. Yeah, the next couple of days for First Resources. Okay, another one, Genting. Yeah, so Genting, same thing, pull back to the support, just the MACD hasn't shown the green yet. All right, so good wait. All right, wait for the green to manifest itself. 3 more. Manual live read. All right, went up sharply, pull back, stop going lower, bouncing up. All right, testing the support. You just need the green. All right, so that's our trading signal, something we follow by specifically and consistently. So if it's not there, you got to wait. All right, Singpost. All right, same thing, pull back, waiting for Mr. Green. Okay. Last but not least, this stock we have been talking about it for quite some time as well. Yeah. So previously there was signal. Some of you may be in. For those who are not in yet, now it's back to test the support. Right? Yes. Basically gone up and test and went up to a higher high already. So now it's pulled back. So if this support holds, it will become a higher low. Yeah. So that's where more likely this uptrend can continue. All right. So do watch out for the green before you wait for your confirmation entry. Okay, so yeah, so this is it. This would be the opportunities to look out for going forward. I've also shared with you those stocks that you can be trading tomorrow already. Yeah, if they hit the entry price. Okay, so just be mindful of the risk. Yeah, so be very clear that your stop loss. Right, if you lose, is it 10%? Is it 5%? Is it 15%? Yeah, so pick those trades, not because you like that stock, pick those because you can manage the risk, you can accept the risk. Okay, yeah, so with that, thank you very much. Share this video with your friends, give it a like as well. We'll continue to share more. I think the market is turning more bullish than not. So yeah, let's see all the trading opportunities. Okay, so thank you and good night.